Welcome to World's End Tarot. This is your Halloween pick a card reading. Each one of these cards has a protection message for you. You have a choice of 1, 2, or 3, and I will put the timestamps in the description box below for your reading. See you there. Hi Group 1, this is your Halloween reading. So your protection card came up with stillness, which I think is, I was kind of curious when I turned it over. I was like, okay, that's different. It's funny because these kind of messages that are coming up in all of your spread right now, there is a really subtle energy to all of this. It's very much rooted in your self-belief and your own emotional well-being. So in terms of a protection message for Halloween, stillness is telling us that we need to take time for ourselves to remain calm within our own intuition, within our own intuition. It's telling us here that we have the capacity to see our situation from a vantage point, much like with this card actually, this is coming up, a vantage point from up or above, so we see the general bigger picture, but there is a lot of calm energy in here, a lot of, well, still, yes, every day, trust, diligence. There's all of these themes of taking stock in oneself and like really having a very pragmatic approach to your life. As a protection message for stillness, this is telling us to take time to observe what's going on around us, what's going on within ourselves, that there's power and protection within being really careful about what we're observing and what we're absorbing and what we're allowing into our lives. It's funny, stillness for me, it's like a message of meditation, a message of really being kind to oneself in these quiet moments, reminding yourself that you don't always need to be super active and super productive for to get your I'm trying to think of the word, to get your validation, to get you don't need to seek external validation to remain in your power. A lot of this can come from within yourself and a deeper sense of self-knowledge. I asked the cards as well, with these cards here, how can I best honor this night? And I was getting, this is Queen of Cups that came up here, which is interesting because it's not the only queen that you have coming up in your spread. The other queen is Queen of Swords, which was I asked what are the ghosts that you need to release? The ghost, what are the ghosts from your past that you need to release? And I was getting Queen of Swords for that. So I want to talk about these two together. How to honor this night, Queen of Cups. I feel like this is very much linked into the stillness protection message here. This is a reminder that we are actually very much capable of our own emotional truth, that we are very much confident, that we know ourselves well. And I think this is a reminder to say, you do know yourself really well. To honor this night, you need to be in touch with your intuition. You need to be asking and receiving messages which are authentic. You're not lying to yourself here with this stillness. It's like taking time to meditate and then receiving the messages about your life that you need to hear. You're very, very self-reliant with these two queens coming up here. The funny thing about this Queen of Swords in the ghosts of the past that I need to release right now coming up here, this is a reminder that like you're more capable than you think you are. I think that for some of you, within this, there's been issues of self-doubt because there's such a strong reminder here of like taking control of yourself, of being self-reliant, of being somebody who really is very confident and knows best. They truly know best about what's good for them. So I feel like this is, it's like this whole spread is coming up with this reminder that like you have what you need to protect yourself. You have what you need to release things that are no longer serving you. You know best. Queen of Swords is in a position of utter authority over her mind, of her intellect. She's extremely good at cutting to the point, to communicating clearly, to being influential around other people. And Queen of Cups is also her sister in this, except in the same way with emotional issues. And so these combined are just, I mean, it's such a position of power that you have coming through in this reading right now. It's really inspiring. I asked here with these oracle cards again. So I was asking, what are our spirit guides like? What is the spirit message that we need to guide our way? And I was getting diligence here. Now this card is interesting, and I think it's just so related with what the queen energy and the stillness protection message was coming up with as well. This idea of diligence, I mean, if anything, this is completely in relation to this protection message of stillness. This is about watching, waiting, being observant, being in your power, being very clear about what messages you are receiving and not doubting yourself about that. This is also a card about slowly growing your resources. This is a card that comes up for people who have projects that are going to take a long time to come to full fruition and start making a profit, for example, or come to the end of that like creative process. This is about being so diligent in your work ethic, being someone who takes, you know, every single day doing something that's small that adds to this project that you have going, or you know, and I say project, but I mean, I want that to be a broad word. Like, it's not just about like an actual job or like a career or these sorts of things. It can also be all about like building your relationships with yourself, or like building a family, or like building a house. Like, it can be all kinds of different types of things. But this message mostly is about every little helps. It's like you are always coming into something from a honest place where you're very aware of what is happening around you. I feel like this bird like flying over this piece of landscape is just, you know, this is so someone, a bird's eye view of a problem or a bird's eye view of a situation. Like, this is someone who is really aware of what's happening around them. And that is really tapping in with this queen energy coming up here. Also stillness as well. Like, your best position, like you are in a best position when you're in the best position when my sentence structure is going weird. You're in the best position when you are still and you are able to observe, like truly, like that is like you've got power in that. It's a reminder not to be busy, and because when we're busy and distracted, like we often miss things, and this is just a reminder in here from spirits guiding our way to get where we want to go this year. You know, following up to next Halloween, this is about, you know, remaining diligent to what your priorities are going forward, and a reminder that you have the tools that you need, particularly from the ghosts of the past, that you need to release. I think a lot of you were feeling like you were not capable of the things that you really want to do. You're wrong. Like, you are totally capable. That this you need to let go of this idea that you weren't this Queen of Swords energy, that this is something you possess. It's time to make sure that you don't be, I don't want you to be hard on yourself like this. Yeah, I'm just being told that it's not true. Like, you have what you need. This second oracle card, I asked, what is a message from our ancestors or those that have passed that we need to be reminded of right now? We come up with trust. This is a message that is so universal. Trust in the universe. The universe will provide. What you give in, you will take back. What is above, so is below. Like, this is trusting that when you go to sleep at night, you know, the sun will rise, as it does every single day, no matter what is happening. That is a truth. This is trusting in the universe that your power makes sense, that you are where you need to be, that you're on the journey that you must go on to get where you need to go, that things are happening to you because they must happen to you, because there's a reason that they're happening, and that there is a process that you have to trust in. And I think this is a really encouraging message coming from our ancestors and those that have passed, that they are reminding us that the universe has a plan for us all, and this is the way that things must be. For me personally, I get a lot of comfort from that particular card in my personal idea of it. Like, it just feels like people who love me and are not here with me are thinking of me and are looking out for me, and that's just something that, it might even be ancestors. In fact, I quite like the idea of having ancestors that think of me that I've never even met. Like, there's something just really comforting about that, and I just think that this is a really positive, lovely message to take from this reading, and I think that is, yeah, like, it's gorgeous. I love this. So that's a gorgeous card to bring up. The last card here is, how can I connect with spirit for the rest of the year? And this is so nice. I want to show you this a little closer. It is everydayness. Do you see this? It's kind of similar with this trust thing. I feel like everydayness. How do I connect with spirit? I mean, if anything, this is an invitation to take more walks, long walks outside in nature. Like, I know it's just telling me, like, you want to connect with spirit on an everyday kind of level, like for the rest of the year, you need to get out and you need to see the universe, and you need to experience the things around you and observe nature. There's more birds coming up here as well. And here with stillness, it feels like to protect yourself, like from your psyche, from things that are not serving you. It's taking time to meditate, to get out in nature, to connect with yourself as a human being alive on this planet, to trust in the way that's happening for you, to take the time to plan ahead about the projects that you want to achieve, and the fact that magic can be found in the everyday experience in all kinds of ways, and to be open to those messages going forward into this year. So, group 1, that was your Halloween message. I hope that you enjoyed that. If you'd like to see more readings from me, please subscribe. I will be regularly uploading, and I send this to you with peace and love. Bye. Hi group 2, this is your Halloween reading. So the protection message that I got for you was this one here, Threshold. I'll show you this a little bit clearer so you can have a look. A lion. 2 lions in the clouds. So I want to go through the rest of the deck as well, just because I prefer reading the whole thing together. This card here I pulled out asking, how can you honor this night? And these are, what are the ghosts of the past that you need to release? We have spirits to guide your way, a message from your ancestors and those that have passed, and how to connect best with spirit for the rest of the year. Okay, so I kind of laughed when I pulled up the combination over here, particularly after this protection message, Threshold, and this 4 of Swords in reverse. And it's funny because you've got 2 reverse cards, and normally I don't really, I'm not like a massive fan of reverse cards personally for me. I don't know why, they're just, sometimes I feel like they really want to be read reverse, and that's when I'll read them reverse, and quite a lot of the time I'm like, I feel like that's a mistake, the way that I'm reading. This one, these 2, they don't feel like a mistake at all. So Threshold and as your protection message, and this how to honor your night with the reversed 4 of Swords, it made me laugh because I thought, oh gosh, you really need to get out of the house and have fun. When I was pulling the cards for Ghost of the Past to release, and this one came up, I asked for a clarifier. And again, it was like, no, really, like 8 and 9 of Wands, like that is how I'm feeling. I feel like a lot of you, if you're going to resonate with this, I think you've been suffering from quite an intense amount of creative burnout. If that resonates with you, then this is the reading for you. If it's not, then it's not your reading. Don't worry about it. Click away. Creative burnout, like it feels like you've been in your home working away. You are near the end of something. it's the end is within sight, but you feel so battered by the process that has led you to get to this place that you really want to like roll up into your bed and not come out and not do anything interesting and just be. And usually with this card, like if it was that way, I would be like, okay, cool, like that makes sense, like you just rest. But combined with the protection message of threshold and the fact this is in reversal, no, it's time for you to have fun. It's time for you to protect your psyche, protect yourself from those nasty little gremlins that want to sit on your back and tell you that you're not good enough, or that you're never going to manage it, or like, you know, you don't deserve to do well. Those little gremlins need to be dealt with head on. If you have a party invitation, or someone's saying, do you want to go trick-or-treating, or you want to come over and just like watch pizza and some scary movies, this is telling you to do that. Like, or even organize it yourself and invite some good loved ones and friends over and host something nice and simple. It doesn't have to be too crazy. It's just this thing of like, I can see that you need to release this damage that's been done with your creative struggle, or your like it's making things, it's whatever that means for you. You need to let that stuff go. Like there is a theme of like feeling like you were a failure, and I'm just looking at the rest of it, I'm just disagreeing. I think that's just in your head. Like you feel like a failure, but you're not really at all. Like it's just, you know, things that are worth struggling for are usually really hard and they're worth it in the end. But of course, at the time, it can feel so much worse than it was. And in fact, some of our best memories are from times that we felt at the time everything was awful, everything wasn't going our way. It was really tiring, you felt really burned out and drained. And then you look back on it and there's this like nostalgia and this is pride about what you managed to achieve. And I feel like this is spirit reminding, the universe reminding you that like, you've got this and you deserve some fun and you deserve to step over the threshold. You are not going to be sitting in your own head feeling like you have been defeated. You don't need any more time to really sit with those thoughts and get yourself into a place that isn't serving you in your head. Like, it's time for you to feel happy and enjoy the small things in life. That's coming up with the fulfillment message here in the spirits to guide our way. Fulfillment came up here, which is so like, I mean, if anything, it just so yeah, I mean, yes, this is about taking pleasure in the small things in life. So all the things that I was listing about, like suggestions about how to spend your Halloween night, like, or just this upcoming weekend on Halloween, yes to all of it. Like it's you need to do something that, like, it doesn't have to be big. Even just enjoying some Halloween candy or like the scary movies, like just taking that time for yourself to do something fun, to do something that's just for you, to connect back with yourself, because this burnout energy, this has to be released. It really, you know, honoring the night by doing something in honor of the night, like, you know, enjoying the cheesiness aspect of Halloween, like that fun stuff, like that is allowed here. And if that isn't really what you're looking for a Halloween message in terms of the silly fun stuff, absolutely, it's an invitation to do things that are much more serious, like doing your own rituals and things to do with maybe even pulling your own deck of cards and doing your own Halloween spread, cleaning crystals, and getting more in touch with yourself, writing some poems, you know, looking at the sky and connecting back with the universe. Those things too, you know, depending how you want to do that, whatever gets you out of your own head and into the place where you're starting to really appreciate the small things in life and treat yourself a little better, that is what we're being told to do with this message here. The second card from the Oracle deck is, I was asking, what's the message from your ancestors or those that have passed for this Halloween? Inner peace. Again, they're reminding you, take stock. Find that inner peace within yourself. I feel like the fulfillment is particularly linked, these two in the threshold. you're going to find that inner peace not by sitting around in your own head and feeling sad about what you have and haven't done. This is about finding that inner peace and that inner strength with enjoying things that are, you know, in the everyday world that are around you, and just being a little bit more kind to yourself. This is a reminder from our ancestors that we don't have to do a lot to feel kind to ourselves. Like even just sitting in the sun or enjoying a walk through a wood and just feeling alive and more connected with ourselves within the planet. Like this is an invitation to just, you know, smell the roses, like watch the fish in the koi pond. Like it's the simple things in life. This is the same thing with the fulfillment card. So the fact that these have both come up together for me is such a clear message to, like, you know, simplify things, enjoy the small things, and get out of the house, get out of your own head, like truly step over the threshold and stop folding in on oneself. It's not serving you right now. There's no need to feel sad about anything that you have or haven't achieved. Truly, like, it's part of the creative process to have this cycle where you feel like you can't quite break through. But and this is the thing, before major breakthroughs about anything, truly, it can often feel like you're failing, and then there's a moment of like coming through. I feel like this is a reminder to just take stock, replenish your energies, and then move on. And I feel like this is even more magnified by this card here from another oracle. I asked, how can you connect with the spirit for the rest of the year? And it came up with potential. I mean, if this isn't an inspiring card for you, I don't know what could be. Like, this is just incredible. Like, this joy at being alive, this joy at the idea of the power behind this horse figure and this ocean, the sun beaming outside from the back of this horse's like figure here, the hooves about to like move forward. There's so much about this card that is like invoking this idea for me about connecting with spirit, is really connecting with your inner potential, connecting with the potential of like events coming that you're going to be offered and opportunities that you're going to be offered in the next year. Really seeing yourself from the point of view of somebody. Do you know what? I actually wonder if it would be a good idea for you to think about how you would appear to a child, or your own inner child yourself when you were 2, 3, 4, 5 years old, and the things that you have accomplished, and how impressed that inner child would be. Because that, I feel like this card is reminding you to see yourself from a place of kindness, to see yourself from a place of awe, like to imagine writing to your past self about the things that you have achieved that you never thought you could, and reminding yourself that you're in a position where you could, at this point in time, receive a message from your future self with all the things that they've achieved that you right now couldn't imagine achieving. I feel like this is how to tap in. It's to really see yourself into the future, to really see what you're capable of, and to not get too bogged down with this idea that things haven't worked out how they were supposed to work out. They have worked out how they're supposed to work out. That is part of the journey that you're on. And you need to take action to look after yourself so that you have enough energy to move forward into the rest of the year with the potential that you have and that you deserve to see come to fruition. So I hope that was a fruitful reading for you guys. That was I loved it. Like, this is really, your cards have a beautiful energy about them, group 2. I hope that was resonating with who that needed to resonate with. If you liked my reading, please subscribe. I will be uploading regularly. And I wish you a very good Halloween. Bye. Hi group 3, this is your Halloween reading. So, I pulled your protection message and you came up with Psyche. Now, I'm going to go through the whole spread that we have here because, to be honest with you, yours is the busiest spread of the readings that I'm doing for Halloween. So if this resonates with you, this is your message. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine, click away. This is not your message. But if it is, let's find out. So I pulled up this is the thing, you have 3 extra cards more than the other 2 readers for some reason, other 2 readings for some reason. I have here how to honor this night, and I asked for a clarifier. I also asked here ghosts of the past to release, and again asked for a clarifier because I was wondering what was going on here. I don't usually pull out reversal cards, and so these ones were very clear about wanting to be read. And then I go into more messages. So spirits to guide your way came up with 2. We have a message from your ancestors and those that have passed, and then sorry, I'm like in my head. How to connect with spirit for the rest of the year, or the universe for the rest of the year, depending on what word you prefer. Okay, so protection message. The other cards are informing me about what Psyche might mean. You're quite delicate at the moment, and there is encouragement here about how to proceed, and there is a message that that struggle is being heard and received with love and understanding. Psyche, linking in with how to honor this night, that kind of informed me what's happening, along with the ghosts of your past that you need to release. You're very in your own head right now, or at least you should be, if you know what I mean. The Hermit here is well, I said how is Group 3 going to honor the night of Halloween? And this card for me with the 3 of Cups, it's parties, it's celebration, it's joy and love and clinking of glasses together and alcohol and things that are in a good way. And the tarot was telling me that is not what Group 3 needs to honor the night of Halloween. Group 3 needs to be alone. Group 3 needs time to be in their own head to process what Group 3 has been going through and is going through. And that is what is being received. Like this, that's the message I am receiving here with Psyche. Reason being, the Hermit comes up with this, and an absolute reminder to you that no, you're not going to be finding true honor of Halloween in Halloween parties and being silly and whatever. Like, you need to take some time for yourself, truly, to recenter yourself. I feel like I think I'm feeling quite I don't know what the words are. I'm a little lost for words reading this right now, and I'm sorry that this is going to be a little choppy for you. But it's just, there's a lot going on here. So I hope that makes sense. Like, best way to honor this night is to spend some time alone, to really get to know yourself. I would actually suggest journaling. Like, that's something that I think would really be beneficial. Journaling, maybe doing your own tarot spread for yourself, from a much more personalized reading. I would recommend that right now. This is going to be messages that you're able to pull up for yourself that I'm unable to do so, because this is much more general reading. And so I don't have you with me for us to go into a deeper reading. But I think that would be a really healthy way for you to sit with this advice here about how your protection message combined with how to honor the night is being received in this. I have also pulled a card for ghosts to release from your past, and I came up with the Fool reversed. Super curious about that one. So I got another clarifying card, and another reversal card, Queen of Pentacles, came up, and I kept thinking, I was like, okay, so somebody's been having, there's a lot of guilt and shame surrounding this part, and I wonder if that's why you're in your own head about it, and to be honest, why you need some time to heal. The ghost from the past, it feels like distant past. It feels like something that you've been taking into your life, and it's informing the way that you're behaving right now, which is not of use to you. Absolutely not of use to you. My first impetus of this was that somebody had a lot of dreams that they really wanted to fulfill, and at the time of wanting to pursue these dreams, there was not enough resource around you for you to do that. You may have had dependents, or the money that you needed to go maybe to study, for example, or to go on a trip, or these sorts of things the money just, that resource just wasn't available to you, whether that was in, yes, money, I suppose, because of the Queen of Pentacles, yeah, but it can also mean things like not having a vehicle, not being able to get away and have enough for oneself to actually plan ahead to do the thing, like just being spread too thin and not being able to start this journey that there was a yearning to start. And I feel like whoever, if this is resonating with you, I can feel that you have been feeling shame and regret about that, and this is a reminder. This is telling you to let that go. It's not serving you right now. That the past is the past. It's not something that is going to define the rest of your life going forward. Truly, it's not, because the rest of the cards coming up here are indicating that, you know, there's another path coming up and opening is available to you. But this is saying, this is time to let that stuff go. It didn't work out. It was crap. It felt awful. It was frustrating, but it wasn't your fault. That's coming up here. There's no reason to feel shame. It's not a failure. But it is, but generally there's also a message of like taking the time to process that, to let yourself process that, to find out what usefulness that feeling has, because often if you have regrets and you have yearnings and frustrations, it can actually inform you of choices that you can make now, rather than focusing on, oh, I wish this had happened, I wish that had happened, if this had happened, this would have happened. And it's a tragedy that didn't work out the way it was supposed to work out. No, it's worked out the way it's supposed to work out. Right now you can use that as a tool to move forward, because the other messages that I'm pulling up here are informing you of this. Although this is nuanced. So here, these two cards came up for spirits to guide you on your way. Courage and freedom. If anything, this is an indication that you have now got the opportunity to do some of those things that you couldn't in the past. But it is going to take an awful lot of inner courage to maybe possibly be honest about the fact that those are things that you want to do now. I mean, honestly, for some of you, I'm really feeling like it's like I've always wanted to go and study and I've never done that before, but now I'm able to do that, and it's something that's still of interest to me. For a lot, I feel like for some of you, it's like going back to university, like as a mature student maybe, or changing career paths. Something that feels very like, ooh, like, wow, I never thought I could do this, and I really still want to do this. And it's saying like, I mean, if that's what you need to do, go for it. But it's also telling you that it's going to require a lot of inner courage. And I wonder if this is why the messages overall are saying you need to take time to process and to plan, and you need to be kind to yourself as you do it. And things that were like that shame or that guilt or that anger or that regret from the past, not being able to do the things, like push that to the side. It's no use. You need to look forward. You need to think about what makes you feel free. You need to think about how best to express yourself. And you need to go within yourself for that inner courage to achieve the things that you want to achieve. Which is, yes, like, go for it. This message here is, I pulled a card for the message from your ancestors and those that have passed. And this is telling you, this is happiness, it comes up with happiness. And I think it's interesting actually, because both of these cards coming up here with the sea, it's like almost as if the same place, but on very different days. You know, this is an aspect of you as well, this part here. I feel like your ancestors are reminding you that that is absolutely innate to you as a person, and that there's nothing wrong with you if you're having some times that you need to be in your own head and gathering up that courage. But truthfully, the happiness of our existence is innate in our lives. I feel like the ancestors here are reminding you that you need to make sure that you're feeling happy and you're doing things that make you happy, things that are of service for yourself. I feel like this is linked in with this freedom card as well. But I also think that with the courage and the happiness being both at the sea, like I said before, this is like the same place but on different days. It's almost like the yin and yang of like your psyche. Like it's the same place. you're capable of both of these things. You're capable of that level of courage and you're capable of that level of happiness. Ancestors are reminding us to tap into those happy things, to be kind. I do think journaling is going to help you. But I feel like this is a message of going like, we are watching and we're with you. We can swim alongside you with this journey. And there's a lot of joy to be found, like on the journey that we're all on together. That will produce freedom, I suppose. A feeling of lightness, a feeling of being able to just move around more. The courage card as well, it's just this idea of like the waves crashing in a rhythmic sense. But there are times when the storm will pass and the waves will continue in a rhythmic way to go. It's just, in this case, we have dolphins leaping out of this rhythmic feeling, and it's part of the same thing. It's all part of the same thing. It's part of this process that you're on. It's like a lifelong journey that you're on with these thoughts that you're having. It feels like for many of you, if you're resonating with it, this is like 20, 30 year kind of journey. Truly, it's a really long journey. And there's a reminder there that, things are going to be good as well. So stop thinking that it's always going to feel like this. And this stuff isn't good for you. Let it go. It doesn't make you happy. Forget it. So the last card here is how to connect with spirit for the rest of the year, or the universe, depending on what word you prefer. And I pulled up imagination. Have a look. It's curious to me that this one's coming up. I must admit that it didn't immediately spring things. It's almost as if this reading compared to the last two are a bit more. It's almost as if there's so much going on that it's hard to put a pin in exactly what it is that we're talking about here. It's such a big overall message. I feel like connecting with spirit, imagination, and just looking at all the shapes of this particular piece of cloth and just looking at it and engaging with it. It's giving you, it feels like as well, this is linked to freedom, it feels like it's giving you permission in your psyche to go into places that are playful and childish. There is an invitation to make things more creative. I think I said journaling before, but I wonder if painting, drawing, these kinds of things, artistic endeavors that you don't need to make money from, that aren't innate to you in terms of work, but are just truly for yourself, for your soul, to express yourself, to feel a bit more. Art therapy and writing and these things, that really truly they're coming up for me with this imagination thing. Connecting with spirit, it feels like for the next year, taking up things that encourage your imagination and engage you with that side of yourself that you haven't necessarily had the time to really indulge in. And maybe it's felt indulgent, maybe it's felt like it was a waste of time because it wasn't something that could make money and you needed money at that time. But it feels like the universe is inviting you to express yourself artistically, even if that felt uncomfortable in the past, even if that was something that you feel like you're not good enough to do it. It really doesn't matter. It's just get your hands dirty, give yourself the opportunity to be more artistic and be more creative and be more in that inner world of yourself where you're making things and you're communicating with yourself in your psyche in a way that isn't necessarily particularly practical. It's just something that I feel like you need to allow yourself to do. I feel like it's an invitation into feeling more free. Yes, it will help unleash these patterns that you've got yourself kind of wound up into. Imagination. Yeah. I hope that made sense. Your reading today for your messages group 3, it felt very convoluted and felt very busy, and I hope that some of you who needed to hear that message were resonating with that message. So I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. If you enjoyed this reading, please subscribe. I am going to be uploading regularly. I would love to have you with me again. Okay, bye.